I remember Rocky Springer giving a sermon once about blessed. He said it wasn't a word. He said you can be blessed and we can offer other people blessings, but it can't be blessed because it's not a real word. After the sermon, I told Rocky the sermon was blessed. There's a new book out about growing up as a white Christian nationalist. That's a misnomer because white Christian nationalist is a new term. It's what we would have called evangelical or Baptist in the past. It's just a new name for the people we don't like. In the Daily Stoic podcast, they talk about how you really need to get to know somebody before you can dislike them. You really need to look at stupid people to understand their logic. And then we can have empathy for them. It's an example, this white Christian nationalist just cashing in on current trends just to make money. And in the process, we're all very likely to miss out on the blessedness of it all. Welcome. Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Sunday Coffee Hour, we talk about everything and nothing. This Sunday, we talked about the Grand Tetons, Mount Rushmore, Victoria Falls, Memorial Sloan Kettering, and emotional intelligence. The reading at Washington National Cathedral was from Genesis, do as the Lord has said, and from Colossians, Christ makes visible that which is invisible. The gospel reading was from Luke. It was about choosing the which better part. The sermon at Washington National Cathedral was by Jan Cope. Jan said we're halfway through summer and it's time to take a break from the doomsday scrolling and stop watching the news. Instead, we can retreat into the peace of Christ. Jan cited the book The Boy, the Mole, and the Fox as a reminder of rediscovering our values. We can't control circumstances, but we can control the way we react. Sharing our greatest fears, we learn that kindness transcends much of our anxiety. Asking for help means you're not giving up. You can't earn something new without trying something new. If you never fail, it means you never tried. Listening less to our fears, instead, we can listen to our dreams. This is closer, Jan said, to our Christian values than the doomsday scrolling. Asking for help and asking for God's help is what we can do now. We're halfway through summer, and it's time to take a break. At St. James Cathedral, the sermon is by Stephen Balke. Stephen preached about the meaning of hospitality. He said it's an important message in the Bible narrative. Sharing hospitality is a convention that moves the Bible story along. God doesn't love us because of anything we did. He loves us because of who he is. Sharing and receiving hospitality is a reflection of this love. It's not earned, it's given. Stephen said that was part of the reason he was drawn to St. James in the first place, because of the terrific example of hospitality at St. James. At St. James, they provide the hospitality of a beautiful worship experience, meals ministry to those in need, and outreach. Stephen said there's a difference between needs. People have a spectrum of different needs. Some of the physical needs are very real. We often want to take the easy way out instead of listening and hearing someone's real needs. That's doing the real work, hearing what's in our heart and the heart of others. It's not a one size fits all. And in many ways, that's a blessing. Otherwise, church becomes the crystallized institution of a government agency. A prima facie hospitality will never do. Some say the welcome never ends. It's the one-sided welcome of all about me. Without ever hearing anyone else, much of what God has to see for us remains invisible in the very thick shadow of ourselves. We want to have a starry-eyed outlook. Some of God's law is harsh. We don't want to see it. Or we misconstrue the meaning of some of the stories in the Bible. There should probably be a warning on the Bible front cover. Enter at your own risk. We do it anyway. There was a pretty good article in the New York Times by Jody Rudgren about renaming things. I wrote to Jody that movie landmarks is actually mentioned in the Torah. The practice doesn't serve people very well. Also, the word change, the actual word change, can be a trigger for some. And I suggested the word grow is probably a better word for whatever the topic is we're looking at. And in that word, we can see the opportunity to grow. Jody responded back that she appreciated my point. Maybe Miss Verdrin thinks I'm an asshole or maybe even a stalker, but at least she responded. In her consulting work, she was instrumental at the New York Times with helping the Times reconnect with who their readers actually are and not who they think they are. So at least she practices what she preaches. I was reminded this week that the LGBTQ trans alphabet is entirely created from a straight white person's perspective. Most of the people on that list don't want to be on the list together. Lesbians think that anyone who has sex with both men and women is totally disgusting and makes them want to vomit. And gay people hate trans people because it undermines the heteronormative model, which they kind of get off to. In sex, as much of life, it's not a one-size-fits-all matter, no matter where you stick it. At Cathedral of the Holy Name this week, they had a list of 47 helpful tips for living, reprinted from the Cincinnati Enquirer, which ran some years back, I believe in the 1950s. It listed saving for retirement, living in a one-story home, and that what other people think about you is none of their business. Jan Cope was right. It's the middle of summer. We can all take a break. In the process, we can see all that is good in the world, and we can see it as if for the first time. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour is every Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. Be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.